Welcome back to another live video. So as you guys can tell, this series is called
Tech Talks.
Is that what we decided?
I think it's we're going with Tech Talks.
Tech Talk, where we're going to be, discussing upcoming cards or cards that you can consider siding in your side deck, etc., etc. So as you can tell by the title, the card we are looking at today is
Ghost of a Grudge.
All right, so you guys know this card recently came out in the premium gold. And it is a normal trap card, and it reads, if your opponent has 8 or more cards in your graveyard, the attack of all monsters your opponent currently controls become 0. So, Mr. Ryan, go ahead and talk about this card.
Alright, so the things about this, everyone really likes what this card does. Some people question, what the specific stats, what it permanently does, and we all know this does not count as targeting.
I mean, it's obvious. It doesn't target.
Yeah, it doesn't target. You can't activate this if all your opponent's monsters are already 0.
I mean, that's obvious. So, if you can't use it against someone who just has Yubel on the field, that's the only 0 monster I can really think of right now, or relinquished.
You can't burn it if your opponent has nothing on the field.
Yeah,
it has those requirements.
Yep.
And and here's the best part about this: this can be used during damage step, not damage calculation, but the damage step.
Yep. So I'll go attack. During damage step, activate this, your attack goes to 0, and the battle goes through, and you take all of that GC damage.
Yup. Another best part about this, and where some people are questioning whether this is true or not, this in fact is true that once the monster's attack is reduced to 0, it's 0 for the rest, as long as it stays face up on the field.
Yeah, but
there's ways to get around that face up loop right there, but most of the time it's going to be their face up. No, that's it. 0 attack.
So you activate this, and it resolves and goes to the graveyard. So even if later in the duel you lance, you're still at 0 because the damage is already done. It's like trying to block breakthrough after it's already resolved. Correct? So the damage would already be done.
Actually, I believe with that, because I'm trying to think if there's a scenario with lance that gets, because that's like with Phoenix Chain. Phoenix Chain's already on the guide. But there's also a skill prisoner. You know what? There is a scenario. It should not be able to affect this because there's that scenario with skill prisoner and Forbidden Lance. They actually stack.
Oh, okay.
They stack, and with that gone, it gives that protection. Lance gives it, allows the extra
so Lance can block it as soon as it's activated. So if your opponent goes to the Grudge and you go Lance, you're unaffected till the end of the turn, and then
until the end of the turn, but Ghost of a Grudge still goes off. But because the monster still was affected or is on the field, this still would go off.
Stop moving it. It's starting to blur. All right, there we go.
Sorry.
So during the end phase, you would go down to 0.
Yes.
Because they controlled it.
Yep.
During the turn that this card was activated.
It's like Phoenix Chain versus Lance. Well.
You blocked it for this turn, but you're going to get chained up during the end phase. So.
Yep.
I'm personally, I think this card's okay. It'd be terrible to open up with it too early in the duel. Well, that's when you're trying to, draw into your key cards in the beginning of the duel, your 5-6 cards that you draw, and this being one of the cards, and your opponent's not going to have 8 for a while unless it's a particular deck. I mean, 8 is a pretty big number for some particular decks. For example, Bujins, they can probably beat you before they probably get 8 cards into the graveyard.
The fact that they control the graveyard is a sad part.
Yeah,
this would be horrible against anything that does graveyard control.
Gyurgia Katakuri, I mean, that's a pretty good target, but then once again, you got decks that can pull. Can't Gyurgia Katakuri pull monsters out of the graveyard?
It's the Gyurgia Accelerator.
So
he brings the monsters, but they do burn. They burn cards. They burn those Gyurgianos and the Gyurgia MK2s, and those usually end up in the graveyard. But with Accelerator bouncing all over the place, it brings them back. It's like you're really not getting anywhere. What this would really own is Harpies.
Yeah.
This would ruin Harpies because they just throw crap in that graveyard like it's nothing. And now with this, they have to be more careful what they do. They can't just be like magical hats, 2 Hysteric Signs, lols.
Yeah, but once again, that argument comes up early game. You open this.
Actually, early game against Harpies, this would be good because they stack that graveyard fast.
8 on first turn?
No, not on first turn. No, if you open up with this, it kind of sucked. But like turn 2, turn 3, Ghost of Grudge would most likely kick in pretty quick.
Me personally, I was kind of hoping that for, you know, having to wait till your opponent gets 8 more cards in the graveyard, you get a little bit more bang for your buck. I mean, dropping all the monsters' attacks down to 0 is great, but you couldn't toss on a little bit of and their effects are negated to like the end of the turn or something. That would have been a little bit nice, because, you know, ooh, okay, I have Zen Maidens. You put my attack to 0, and I'm in defense mode. Okay,
Yeah.
you know, it's not the best of cards. You know, you drop Duels down to 0. Okay.
It'll just go back up.
It'll go back up.
Yeah,
you know?
it'll go back up on its own.
Now, if its effect was negated along with it, then that'd be much better. But personally, this card's pretty decent. You might want to consider siding it. You got anything else to say?
I just say I recommend picking it up and testing it to see what you guys think. But
How much is this card?
it's $5.
$5? All right.
It's $5 right now.
It's $5, so go ahead and pick them up. If you opened up in your premium gold, make sure you hold on to them.
I can actually see this being good once the pendulums kick off.
Yeah, I can see this definitely when the
Because everyone's going to
pendulums.
be dumping everything to get those pendulum cards. And yeah, this is when I think, this is one of those cards, it's good, but right now it's not. It's like Angel of Zera. Angel of Zera is just waiting for its time when once the banishment comes and the banishment fest starts, that card's going to go up.
Yeah,
It's
so
just like that.
this is a gem. It's not as shiny as it will be in the future, so, you know, hold on to it.
It'll get polished, though.
It'll get polished, so invest this card, guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed this live video. Go ahead and comment any discussions you guys want us to discuss in the comment section below. Like I said, apologize for the shaking. Right now I'm using my phone, and I do not have a camera or a tripod. I will get one eventually, but for now this will have to do. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for all the support, and I will see you guys next time in the next live video. Thanks for watching.